One of the most important ways you can begin to transform the platformer engine into your own game is to change the way your game feels. The most important way to do this is to alter the physics that control the player's inertia, falling speed, jump height, etc. Most of these are controlled by altering some global values conveniently located at the top of the Level Events event sheet. Jump strength controls how high the player will jump while the player presses and holds the jump button. This is also strongly affected by the gravity variable I'll mention next. Gravity controls how quickly and strongly the player gets pulled downward while in the air. Keep in mind, if you increase or decrease this gravity variable after changing your jump strength variable, it will change the effect of your jump settings. Both variables must be adjusted together and tested until it's to your liking. High bounce sets how high the player will bounce off of enemies when the player lands on their head while keeping the jump button held down. Light bounce sets how high the player will bounce off of enemies when the player lands on their head while the jump button is not held down. Max X controls the maximum movement speed of the player while the player is walking. Run speed sets the maximum speed of the player while they are running by holding down the throw button. When controlling the maximum X speed of the player character, you might also want to adjust the player's acceleration and deceleration settings as well. To do so, go to the Projects section, find the Invisible Player Rect Sprite in the Objects Type folder, find its Platform Behavior settings in its Properties, and set the acceleration and deceleration as you see fit. Be sure to frequently play one of the game level layouts to test your adjustments as you make them until you are happy with the final results. Now that you have the feel of the player movement customized, let's switch to Spriter and your graphics program of choice and customize the look of your character. If you open the Player 50% folder, you will find the SCML file and subfolders containing all the images used to create the player. Load the SCML file into Spriter. Now let's look in the folder called Smaller Head. This is all the images used for the head of the player. If you edit any of these images in your graphics program of choice, and then go back to Spriter and click the Image Refresh key, you'll see your edited art on your character. For those who don't want a cat-based character, we've included an alternate set of heads in the folder called Gray Head. If you copy those images over the images in the Smaller Head folder, and click the Image Refresh button in Spriter, you'll see the player now has a humanoid style head. Keep in mind, we're using Spriter's Character Map feature to swap out images to make the character look different while he has the fireball power. For the sake of simplicity, we're just swapping out head images with alternate colored ones which are located in the folder called Smaller Head 2. You can of course change this character map to replace different images if you'd like, such as the hands. To do so, we'd create a copy of the hands folder, alter them by changing their color or painting over them in a graphics program, then go back to the character map in Spriter, select all the images in the hand folder, and set the character map to replace all the hand images from the original folder with the ones from the new folder. For the image replacing to work properly, we need to copy the default pivot points from the original images to the new images. Now you see when you activate the character map, the player's hands change instead of the head. Of course, besides updating the visuals of your character, while you're in Spriter you could also adjust the keyframes and timing of any of the animations as well. Just keep in mind that changing how long any particular animation takes could have an effect on gameplay or the visual quality of the game. Once you're done customizing, you need to export the character in a special way and then re-import it into the platformer game engine. Choose File, Generate Sprite Sheets for project images. Make sure Save Sprite Sheeted Project, Save as SCON, and Embed Sprite Sheet Info into Project File are all checked on. Click the three dots near the base file name bar and navigate to the Player Atlas folder and choose to save over the player.png image there. Then click OK. Now go to the Spriter layout in the Platformer Game Engine, double-click the player.scml object and load the updated image into it. Now go to the Projects window and scroll down to Files, delete the player.scon file. Then right-click the Spriter Animations folder and choose to import a file and import the new version of the player.scon that Spriter had created when it created the player.png image. Now when you play the game, you'll see your updated player has been fully imported that easily. A future video will show how to add entirely new animations and abilities to your character. Thanks for watching.